to you today from Current Environmental. I'm showing you a 4,000 gallon heating oil tank that was removed from a rather unimposing residence. Okay? You think of oil tanks, you think the tank will be metal. This was actually fiberglass. It's actually made by Owens Corning. You think of Owens Corning for insulation. Well, they do fiberglass and they do fiberglass tanks. I point this out to you because tanks were installed willy-nilly by a wide range of people. HVAC companies, plumbers, heating oil distributors, homeowners. And they put in whatever they put in. There's no standardization. I point this out to you because many people think that a tank is going to be metal, and it is a lot of the time. But there's other times where it's not. We actually just removed the tank in Whoopi Goldberg's neighborhood in North Jersey, and it was a double wall fiberglass coated steel tank, right? Rather a great tank, a tank you would actually find like at a commercial property. But I digress. I'm pointing this out to you. It's a fiberglass tank. You come along here, and you know fiberglass does not have a lot of strength to it, which is why there's ridges to the tank. It gives the tank strength. I point this out to you because we do due diligence. Like if this tank leaked, which it did not, thankfully, whoever owns the property will be responsible for the cleanup. Okay? You buy a property and you find a tank later on that you didn't look for, that's your problem. You buy a property, you hire us to do a tank sweep, we find a tank, it gets addressed before you buy the property. Now here's where things go in a why, right? There's two ways to do a tank sweep. The proper way with geophysical equipment, not really the gun shy way, but the amateur way of people using a metal detector. People think a metal object in the ground is going to come up. Well, you take a metal detector across this tank, it's never going to come up because it's fiberglass. Okay. This actually came up with the JPR because we were able to pick up a void in the image of an excavation because it was such a large vessel. We were also able to trace the lines going back to the house. Now you think, oh, well, maybe there's piping to the tank. The piping is typically copper. You're not going to pick that up. And if there is a little metal fitting on there, it's going to be a very small blip that you would pick up with a metal detector. Where with geophysical equipment, you actually get an image. I point all this out to you, okay, because it's very expensive. If a tank leaks and you own the property, a small leak in my universe, $8,000 to $15,000. Okay, and that's small. I don't even think $40,000 is small, but I don't want to give people a heart attack. You wind up hiring a company like Current to do a professional tank sweep. Why we're so good at it is we're licensed in 3 states to remove tanks. If you do a tank sweep for Current Environmental, you have a license to remove a tank, you have removed tanks, you know what's going on, and you also have a weekly meeting regarding the tanks we found and we removed over the prior week. Why? To give you expertise, to know that yes, a 4,000 gallon tank could possibly be located at a residence. Why? I wish I could go back in time. I'm sure there's a couple of reasons why the person wanted it, and it's there. And it's not the only one. I also have ones that are around that we've done. I say this to you because when you buy a property, you buy the problems unless you do the due diligence. We are an environmental company. We have over 28 years experience with environmental due diligence. If you have environmental issues, I highly recommend you call our office, speak to an environmental professional, and see how we can help you.